Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On this occasion, let me introduce my identity. I am Bahrul Maani. I am a lecturer of postgraduate program at Islamic State University of Sulthan Thaha Saifuddin, Jambi-Indonesia. I am presenting on behalf of our research team. I am going to present about our research which is supposed to be presented at Asian Education Symposium 2020. But because of Corona pandemic that is presented virtually, the title of our research is Challenges in the Future of Children's Education due to domestic violence in Jambi City.
Challenges in the future of children's education due to domestic violence in Jambi City. Introduction. Children as the next generation become the foundation of hope for the future of the family and nation in the future. He needs food intake and affection in the household. Therefore, he must be fostered and educated through proper education. Children are the mandate and the gift of God Almighty Allah, who must always be guarded because in Him inherent a movement to guarantee and protect children and their rights to be able to live. Obedience and rights as human beings must be upheld. Child's rights are part of human rights contained in the 1945 Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia and the United Nations Convention on Rights of the Child. The child referred to under Law number 23 of 2002 is a person who is not yet 18 years old, including children who are still in the womb. According to Erik Erikson, the development of a person's personality with a focus on psychological development stages 0 to 1 years are sensory oral stages. Stages 3 to 6 years, they are in stages with an autonomy versus shame and doubt crisis. Sumiarti Padmono Dewo 2003, page 19. While Piaget said that cognitive development of sensory motor stage 0 to 2 years, pre-operational 27 years, concrete operations 7 to 12 years, then the cognitive development of preschool children at the pre-operational stage. A harmonious family will be an example of a role model in a family and give birth to children who are smart and happy, but instead, a family that is not harmonious, let alone violence against the wife and children, will give birth to a broken home family where both parents do not become role models in the family. The family is two or more individuals who are joined because of blood, marital relationship, or adoption, and they live in a household, interact with each other in their respective roles, and create and maintain a culture. As a culture by interacting with the community to bring positive things. But what is often witnessed by culture of violence almost every day is broadcast on television, other electronic media, and newspaper provide information about domestic violence. Even problems like that occur as if it is endless, especially the treatment of the husband to his wife and children, or conversely, the wife's improper treatment of her husband. It is undeniable that the problem is increasingly due to economic factors, jealousy, and misunderstanding between husband and wife, so that there is a dispute and children are exposed to violence by both parents, plus other crimes that they see through the internet cafes, and other media that can shape children's character into hard and over reasonable method. The approach used in this study is quantitative qualitative. The subjects of the study were 6 districts principals in Jambi City, and I interviewed several employees of the religious courts in the city of Jambi. This research is field study by collecting data sourced from the family environment using triangulation, observation, interview, and documentation techniques to identify families and children who have problems because they are related to domestic violence, so that children's education is cut off, especially in Jambi City. Apart from that, they also observe and collect documentary data at the religious court and children who cannot receive education, children who drop out of school, who do not finish school due to domestic violence. Children's rights, especially in education, can be obtained through a harmonious and happy family, not the other way around. In a family that maintains violence against children and wives. If this happens, it means that they have ignored religious orders, laws, and international agreements. Today, the number of cases of domestic violence, both against wife and children, is caused by several factors, including economic factors, social jealousy, infidelity, and irresponsible husband in the family. Therefore, regulations and laws on domestic violence and laws, child protection laws, must be enforced fairly so that family and children's education can be sustainable. The Islamic education paradigm is oriented towards a happy and harmonious family. The data analysis is done by mixed method with analysis activities consisting of 3 channels, namely data reduction, data presentation, and drawing conclusions of verification. Furthermore, to discuss data that are relevant to the topic or problem to be discussed, literature study techniques are used. A literature study is a data collection technique by finding information from literature books, journals, regulations, research reports, scientific essays, mass media, and written and electronic sources. Results and discussion. Based on the table, it can be explained that 11 sub-districts in the city of Jambi, but only 6 districts were taken at the highest cases of domestic violence, violence against children, and violence against women for 2018/2019. For example, 1. Sub-district Palmera in 2018, domestic violence was indeed 3, violence against 2 children and violence against 1 woman. But in 2019, there was a sharp increase in domestic violence, 7, violence against children, 3 people, and violence against women, 4 people. 2. Sub-district Kota Baru in 2018, 2-person domestic violence, 1 child violence, and 1 woman violence. But in 2019, there has been a sharp increase in the number of domestic violence of 5 people, violence against children, 2, and violence against women, 1. 3. Sub-district Alam Barajo in 2018, domestic violence, 1 people, 1 person, violence against children, 1 person, and violence against women, 0. But in 2019, there was a sharp increase in the number of domestic violence of 3 people, violence against children, 2 people, and violence against women, 1. 4. Sub-district Jambi Timur 2018, domestic violence, 3 people, violence against children, 2 people, and violence against women, 1 person. But in 2019, there has been a sharp increase in the number of domestic violence of 2 people, violence against 1 child, and violence against women, 1. 5. Sub-district Pasar Jambi in 2018, domestic violence, 0, but violence against children, 0, and violence against women, 0. But in 2019, there has been a sharp increase in the number of domestic violence of 2 people, violence against children, 2, and violence against women, 1. 6. Sub-district Jelutung in 2018, domestic violence is 1 person, violence against children, 1, and violence against women, 0. But in 2019, there has been a sharp increase in the number of domestic violence of 2 people, violence against children, 1, and violence against women, 1. Apart from that, based on an interview with Ms. Iklima, she said that the divorce rate associated with domestic violence is very high. Interview with Ms. Iklima, an employee of the religious court, dated August 10, 2020. As well stated by Muhammad that the occurrence of domestic violence has clearly disturbed children's education in schools. Children who are traumatized due to domestic violence will have an impact on the dropouts of children education at school. Interview with Muhammad and Raudah, an employee of religious court, dated 11th of August 2020. The occurrence of dissonance in the household will clearly sacrifice the child psychologically, education, and comfort in the family. Interview with Rosmala, an employee of religious court, dated August 12, 2020. Conclusion. The government needs to make a joint commitment to uphold legal justice in the family and society in order to create security, comfort, and peace in the household so that children can excel in their education for future success in the context of serving the state and nation. Children's education will run well if there is harmony in the household where fathers and mothers are role models in the household. The commitment to law enforcement against domestic violence, both against mothers and children as well as husbands, must be properly implemented, and they must both obtain legal protection in accordance with applicable laws, which can have a negative effect on perpetrators of violence. Thank you.